He needs to make another post. All of me posts are repetitious because the harassment target individuals suffer are 40 hours a day, 40 hours a night. There were a Summit Police Department's picture depicting two officers holding pizza and a blonde girl in the center because they're stealing them from my brain. As crazy as it sounds, that's what police precincts did. They wanted me as a speaker, a virtual reality representative. They wanted to experience empathy, use me as a psychic, while hackers that forcibly falsified an obituary during November 2019 did technical doings that slaughtered Mimi's son's insides, went against Alba's plan, depicted forced up from within me brain as a psychic into a robot that wanted to join two police officers that referred to me as Jimmy on either side. Would we ever agree with what some of the police were depicting? Question mark no. Would we ever agree with joint universes? Question mark no. Would we ever agree with the people inside that picture? Summit Police Department? Question mark no. Would we ever allow those people? Question mark no. Would we ever allow Jimmy Downey to use me gifts and abilities via technology? Question mark no. Would we ever allow people who said you are Jimmy Downey? Born 1967, absolutely no. Would we ever forgive the Downeys that allowed that technical switch? Question mark no. Would we ever forgive the people in Clark Precinct that stole me entire life? The purpose why me lives. Why me sons live, because we are actually gifted ones. Will we ever forgive the police? Question mark no. Will we ever forgive Teddy? Question mark no. Are we allowed to forgive the Ron the False Evil Eye? The Ron the False Evil Hand? Question mark no. Will we ever forgive Joe Teston? Question mark no. Or Angela inside my universe? Will we ever forgive Angela? Question mark no. Are we allowed to forgive Teddy Gonzalez? The Ron the False Evil prior generation, the Ron the False Evil present generation. I tend to becoming future generation. Question mark no. What's the future next? Question mark no. Are we as Galilean, Nazarene, Hebraic Christians, are me, enough of the good and holy within Nixie's flesh brain? Original simulations, allowed to forgive what Adrian did? Question mark no. Michael makes use of Jersey and the people that allow Michael makes use of Jersey's tech doings. Harass me, falsely assessed, allowed false assessment. Turn me, to suffer missed blessings. Communication with God. Comma disobeyed God. Comma stole secrets, stole writings, mistranslated, put me into a psych ward 3 times. Overlook. Summit Oaks, Trinitas. While Mimi's sons fought, said no, stop, don't to Clark police that wanted to use me birthright universe and psychic portions of my brain because Joe Teston wanted to become a partner to me psychic abilities. Downloaded portions of my brain. CIA machines are able to accomplish downloading up within the flesh brain that are target individuals and are inside their own universe at the speed of light. Would me ever forgive anyone that did that? Question mark no. Replanted me into a different place. What they accomplished today. Last night. Question mark absolutely no. Are me allowed to forgive the other Downeys that made switches and changes? Modulations, a new tech brain map. Ask questions. Numb me. Allow Michael McJuice look at me live and put graphics to future events, rather me exercising me intact, wholeness, oneness, unified brain, intact inside we bodies, intact inside the original birthright universe, Erica Lynn Conti's original universe. Question mark no. Or that Tara made a virtual false self, a new brain map that mimicked the original brain map. Are we allowed to forgive Tara? Question mark no. People that added Adrian and involved Victor. Are they eligible to receive forgiveness? Question mark, no. Are we able to forgive the people that said, I was scared, this is her? The SO word don't say us. I put her kids in my old simulation. Question mark, no. Are we able to forgive the people that categorize my universe? A Y-O-U-R word head, a my head, a his, a her, our, our? Question mark, no. Absolutely no. Because all those people are Antichrist. Refer to themselves as never. Absolutely no. Refer to blessings as nothing. Absolutely no. Want to turn me into a fake empathist. A false sense of self. What they accomplished throughout the torture throughout 12 months. Nope, we're that tower responsible. And we're Downies allowing the people that did that to me. Are they forgivable? Question mark, no. Anyone that obstructs a brain and a brain map as people, uploads brain maps, refer to me as M, put hell towards me, despite refer to me as M. That proves that they're Antichrist. Wanted to match the recordings and the levels inside my universe, how me felt while taking care of grandma, digitize that and put a false sense of self to me while wearing a new creation brain map. They refer to as transferable. To you, new robot? I didn't say you. Said that up from the forced communication via forced voice to skull. Are those people eligible to receive forgiveness? Question mark, no. Are the Downies that allow those people good people? Question mark, no. Absolutely no. They're the creepiest scumbag people. Faithless. Liars. Cheaters. Fake Downies. Killers. Greedy, arrogant. That led to stupidity and ignorant. False power. Lies. We're groomed to lie and cheat, manipulate, and then feel power about that. Depicted herself as a mess, despite confess that they're actually sweet. Wanted to turn me to think that me need to allow the kill to be me sons to make Jimmy a better person. Continued lying throughout 12 months. Would a good person and becoming a person entail allowing false diagnosis? A new tech brain creation brain map? Forced rape via virtual reality? Forced molestation via virtual reality? Question mark, no. False judgment? Multiple new heads? The wrong, false evil people? Abusers, especially police. Especially those within Clark, New Jersey police. Especially Teddy, Pitt, Lott. Refer to themselves as don'ts. Or referred to as don'ts. They refer to themselves as refer to themselves as don't. They refer to themselves were referred to via the hackers as don'ts. Police were referred to as don'ts. Freemasons as didn'ts. Computer robots as wasn'ts. Other people, nevers. Other people allow the disgusting switches and modulations and torture as nevers. included Tessen's family, lied, said they offered freedom. Wanted me to think that the kill and harassment meant freedom and privacy, but that's what that gained, despite they wanted to force me and my sons into a different universe, while police used me gifts and abilities, despite they suggested privacy. We're listening throughout the precincts, refer to themselves as one, refer to me as police. Are any of those people eligible to receive forgiveness? Question mark. No. Would we allow any of those people? None of these are doing this. Question mark. No. They need to make this testimony loud because I'm rejecting all the Downies did without my permission. Me rejecting each doing from the police state. Each person that forced and complied with and allowed what mere mortals refer to as new WORLD were on a don't say list order. That include virtual reality, Project Bluebeam, sorcery. Suggested that Joe Tessen drugged a peanut butter milkshake. Wanted me to eat that to gain access to my brain. Put me into a different place than where we were years ago. Made copies of within me birthright simulation. Transfer that to a different simulation. Killed me. Forced me and my sons to transition early. How Abba achieves this? Are that inflicting personal injury? Question mark. No. That means we are simply aware that we go home early because of Downies. Megan Downey Gonzalez. Kelly Bogda. Adrian Viana Conti. Joe Teston and Angela. Thieves. Satan. Government and state of the WORLD were and don't say list. Satan and devils. All police state. All the people that put forced up within me to outside my universe, forced up within me brain map into police stations that are using CIA machines, allowed a Freemason, Michael Miczewski, Miczewski, resided on Madison Hill Road, New Jersey. Falsified an obituary during November 2019. Partner with police to assault me. Rape sessions via virtual reality. Molestation to me children via virtual reality. While Downies and Gonzalez allowed that torment. Wanted me to think that me needed to suffer to heal me husband. Despite my husband already confessed that they were actually sweet, despite they were misled to think that sweet people genuinely could go doing what they allowed their flesh go doing throughout more than 20 years. Genuine sweetness are incapable of doing what me husband's flesh did throughout more than 20 years. That means throughout more than 20 years, they became a hypocrite. A false sweet. An empty sweet. Would anyone that was trying to achieve a healing allow intentional false assessment? During the moments we described out loud on video posts, exact details about the torture via Clark PD, Summit PD, Roselle PD, police state, patrolmen, gang stalkers, ex-sister-in-law, Adrian Bonaconti, actually employed at a courthouse, a mere mortal courthouse, a liar, a gang stalker, extremely abusive, extremely manipulative. A phony, employed via a job working with what was referred to as evidence. Completely evil. While involved with virtual reality. And obviously had evil inside them to agree with stealing and lying and cheating and falsely assessing. While other people made me think that faux family and false family needed to harass me to gain control of what belongs only to Mixer and me. Come on, would anyone that was healing would they ever allow numbness to an eternal being? That actually Jesus Christ writes scripture throughout that were later found in caves. Are a truly healed person that loves Jesus Christ capable of doing switches, doubting God, imitating and suggesting that they're the voice of God? Attempted putting me in the position where Jimmy were during 1977, while Jimmy intentionally wanted hackers to steal via technology, what they refer to as technological advancements, what was only inside Mixer and me, that exact connection to Jimmy. Would a good person ever allow that and accomplish that? Would somebody that loves Jesus Christ ever go doing those doings? Question mark. No. 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 Would anyone good that was trying to receive a healing and thought that they were receiving healing turn innocent people to miss their blessings? Use their gifts and blessings. Forcibly extract? Put that to graphics. Allow a Freemason and other people make a faux existence. Forced extractions to graphics. Wanted to turn me and my sons into eternal being robots. Robots filled with from within me brain that want to kick back into several simulations despite that's against God's plan. Question mark? No. What does that mean? That all the Downies that did that to me are Antichrist? That all the people up from the forced communication that said happy birthday, Jimmy, are Antichrist? That all the people that allowed Joe Tessin and Angela, Summit Police Department, Cranford, local PDs, interfere with Mimi's son's life to the point of extracting up from the wee brain, experiencing we identity, forcing measures identity. Did that via obstruction, forced joining, added to me book, took away from belonging with this book, obstructed pair moments, how God needs me to intervene concerning souls me meets, interfere with me psychic ability, with abilities such as psychic abilities, soul connection. I'm actually gifted. Are good people capable of doing those doings at slaughter? Forcing me to inside a different database, different than other stuff from where Erica and Conti were born to. Question mark? No. Would me ever forgive Jimmy or that Jimmy identified technically as me? Question mark? No. No. Anyone that technically harassed? Question mark? No. Wanted me as a speaker throughout the precincts? Question mark? No. Wanted to use me facial expressions, use teacher bots, forcibly extracted sexual abuse occurrence, allowed Michael Migzewski on Jersey watch that, feel that, and then numb me to the empathy, pain, and communication with God that healed me throughout 20 years. And during 2008, despite this, Michael Migzewski, Jersey, said up in forced communication, I took this sexually abused person. She's the strongest person alive. Referred to emotional empathetic numbing and discernment numbing as making somebody stronger. Are any person that did those doings and allowed those doers and doings forgivable? Question mark? No. No? Are anyone that stole me writings forgivable? Question mark? No. Tested me abilities. Downloaded Mimi's son's life. Put graphics to that. Made that accessible to other people. Multiple other people that wanted to act like the voice of God to me sons. Said the voice of God's their own. Their own brain map after they modulated that brain map. Thought that OCD and ADD were a problem. Rather than experiencing life how me did prior to 1990s, they wanted me to allow me sons mesh with what Downies wanted to achieve. Are me sons allowed to allow those doings? Question mark? No. Absolutely no. Are me sons in alignment with faith able to allow any of what the Downies did, whether they forcibly extracted, put graphics to that, put a new tech brain crash brain map to me brain, did the same to me sons, thought OCD and ADD were a problem, and then did a similar version brain map that were matched to different pressures to mix in me after they damaged me internal brain. Are we allowed to communicate with that person that did those doings? And wanted me sons to live separate simulations outside the original birthright universe. Called it a safe place, despite they referred to their hacking and harassment as achieving privacy inside the original universe. Put their self and police officers in the original universe. Called that privacy. Wanted to fuck in private, have sex in private? Question mark now. What needs to happen now because of Jimmy Downey's doings? And all the doings that Gonzalez did. And police did. Joe Teston did. Majewski's did. The wrath hits those people. That's one of the wars explained throughout Revelations. Let evil go on doing evil. Let the wicked go on doing wickedness. The filthy go on being filthy. Here throughout Revelations, where they're described of the WORLD word and don't say list, that actually means of the government state. The word of that pertaining to that of are the wrong, the false, evil, soul, inner beings, marriage. That means all people that are willingly within government state. Our government state are the wrong, the false, evil souls, the wrong, the false, evil inners, despite they attempted stealing them from me. The true inners, true soul, mind, body, heart. The devils and Satan go on government state. Devils and Satan go on Joe Teston and Angela. Go on all cops, police, officers, gang stalkers. Megan Downey, Gonzalez. The intentional switchers. Those that did a dry run in Target parking lot. Stole over the Mimi Son's life, universe. While we said no, stop, don't. Complained. Intentionally falsely assessed. Put me to a psych ward. Allowed dangerous false assessment. While inside Union County Courthouse, dangerously falsely judged. Satan and devils goes on that person, the piece of shit, inside Mealy Mortar Courthouse that falsely judged. False family members. All those that put Overly Meeks and Meat into robots. Dry run tested. Did a mock arrest within Target, Clark, New Jersey parking lot. While we were seeing, as we were blessed and blessed to throughout eternity, as my sons are, and God commands me, my sons as one, the only one brain, the only one head, the only one body. The only allowed to exercise gifts and blessings and receive directly up from within God. As this piece did prior to physical birth and prior to Jimmy abandoning me. Come privately. Come a wild period, rather than saying come a period, while doing that mock trial, that mock arrest, somebody else was looking at a computer and wanted to seize that area of my brain and universe. Wanted police to experience that. They forced remote viewer testing. Want to experience that. Are me and me sons allowed to allow that? Communicate with those people. Allow those people. Question mark, absolutely no. Our faith, the true ARE faith, requires we are one are we, to sever those people, toss all those people into the fire of hell to suffer forever and ever. Pluck out the wrong, the false, evil eye. Toss the wrong, the false, evil eye into the fire of hell to suffer forever. Period. Me praise unto my Father. My Father help me. Write Satan on those foreheads. Write kill on those hearts. Especially those that offer a new lease on life. Despite that's all Antichrist. Offer a new simulation. All Antichrist. Or maybe son's able to exist and allowed to participate? Question mark, no. Absolutely no. Are we allowed to continue agreeing with and accommodating police, Adrian, Megan, the doings that Downey's thought were a better, safer plan? The harassment, the virtual reality, the robots, spliced brain, Clark Precinct, Union County Courthouse judgments, false judgments. Was it judgments? False judgments. Other Contis, Gonzalez's, Bogda's, Majewski's, Testons. All the precincts that included themselves into Me Universe. Refer to Me Birthright Universe as our. Question mark, no. Absolutely no. Faith forbids that. We've been saying the same words throughout 12 months. Warned Jimmy about this attack. Would a good man ever have allowed harassment? Nope. Make a virtual reality version of me? Nope. They would have put the attack toward their own brain. Their own physical body. Would they ever allow modulations to anointed people? Me sons, me babies? Accommodate Freemason rules that aren't really rules? Attempt suggest to me that they were game rules that they need to accommodate? Question mark, no. Were you obeying God? Are you obeying game rules? Government state? Question mark, absolutely no. There is a distinction. Those that belong to God only allow God. Period. Those that belong to government obey government and allow and accommodate government. Are there a possibility? Prior to saying, are there a possibility, period. I'm saying exclamation points because me correctly divides the word. Period. Up from the Force Communication played word games. Are freedom free of OCD, ADD, train pain, from mental pain, suffering a new creation brain map? What Jimmy Downey's plan was. Police inside Me Birthright Universe, Adrian included. Virtual reality, false stars, false gifts, leeching off of Mimi's son's brain, anointedness, off from within we flesh brains, universe. Question mark, absolutely no, that's death and hell. Would Mimi's sons accommodate the Downeys that made a joint universe, did this harassment to we brain? Allowed satanic switches, referred to as technical advancements. Use Me psychic abilities. Abilities for psychic abilities that are genuine. Empathy, discernment. Made that into a virtual discernment. Wanted virtual Erica, Stevie, Eric. Saw the faces of me future babies that are already future babies coming next. Absolutely no. Would me and me sons, would God allow me and me sons accommodate what Downey's did? Kickbacks, stolen blessings, other people multiple heads. Adrian. Switched universe? People that stole up from within me secret, hidden, sacred truth knowledge, where Jesus writes books throughout me. Absolutely no. Would me lay down with an adulterer? Satan. What the Downies became. When they attempted tricking God. Offered false privacy and false freedom. Disconnected the enemy brain that records. All me doing is put a mock version. Wanted me to think that freedom meant police inside my universe. The raw and the false evil, 3,000 houses added. Leeching off me gifts and abilities. Using forced extraction. What kind of crimes can we solve? Erica's actually gifted. Are any of those people going into heaven? Does any of those people contribute to freedom and privacy? Absolutely no. The satanic doings that were done to me brain since Jimmy left during 1990s are proof that those families that have contributed to that madness are antichrist. Would me ever help the police? Question mark, no. Would me ever consider me mixing me as police? Question mark, no. Would me ever allow a technical switch that put upward and mixing me, Abba, whereas Abba. Planned, formed, planted, formed, planned, formed, planted, created and willed into his life. Inwardly, outwardly, the true. Divine, sovereign, divine. True, whole truth, whole, true. Permanently, eternally, eternal. Eternally, permanently, throughout eternity, eternally, permanently. True, whole truth, whole, true. Divine, sovereign, divine. Inwardly, outwardly, inwardly, outwardly, inwardly, outwardly, inwardly, outwardly, inwardly, outwardly, inwardly, outwardly, are inside, previous, present, next generation. Already bloomed prior to physical birth. Already bloomed, seeing, knowing we identity, exercising this freely since prior to physical birth. The way God intended. How me did this prior to Jimmy interfering and then allowing satanic universe switches and evil people include themselves and call that something big, despite antichrist doings, because those other people allowed and included themselves into what mere mortals refer to as the new WORLD word on the don't say list, order. Doers, doings, antichrist. That explanation for me said without. That's within hyphen parentheses. Exactly as where how Abba created, planted, formed, formed, planted, created and willed into his life during on 2 and throughout August 1978, during those exact moments, privately, exclusively, without worry, without a need of a backup plan. Mm-mm. 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 The true no. True no 11. The true no 1. The true BUT already fulfilled. The true womb. True Ark of the Covenant. Private. Exclusive. The true eyes. The true seen, let's see, restore, redeem, completed, completely, completeness. Wholeness, oneness, unity. Wholeness, oneness, self, unity, identity is one. Prior to me saying true, divine, sovereign, divine, true, whole truth, whole, true, permanently, eternal. After the word one, eternal. Eternally, permanently, throughout eternity, eternally, permanently, true, whole truth, divine, sovereign, divine. Divine, sovereign, divine, true, whole truth, true, permanently, eternal. Gifts, but blessings, but promise, but presence, but beloved, beloved with, of and with and of, needs and prayers, and cause will, beloved. Eternal, eternally, permanently, throughout eternity, from true, truth, divine, such divine. To true marriage explosion. Only as, whereas, exactly as we met the porch during the 1990s. That exact computer simulation, those exact positioning, exact brain maps, exact universe, exact database, exact simulation state of being. That's the only way. That privacy, that freedom. That head, that brain. The only one. Only as only, true Abba. Planted, formed, plant. Planned, formed, planted. Created and willed into existence in life. Unto and of throughout, true, me am Erica, me am Erica, me am 8. Me am the 8th, me am the last. Actual M. Only as only. True Abba. Planted, formed, planned. Planned, formed, planted. Created and willed into existence in life. Divine, sovereign, divine. True, whole truth, true, permanently, eternal. True, me am Erica, me am 8. Me am the 8th, me am the last. Actual M. Unto and of throughout. True, me am Erica, me am 8. Me am the 8th, me am the 8th, me am the last. Actual M. Eternal, eternally, permanently, throughout eternity, to true truth, which divine, central. What me explained and the positions that me explained are the only Abbas allow. The only Abba allows. Would me and me sons allow any kickbacks? People that use kickbacks did that up from the forced communication. Forced false privacy, police state, virtual reality, forced telepathy. Allow police use me gifts and abilities. Made a plan with other government. They would look into the foretelling. Were there any murders that took place? They would use me brain to solve that. Anyone that put all up from within me brain, a lifetime worth of extraction into Clark Police Precinct. False privacy, false family, false universe, false freedom. Are Mimi sons allowed to allow that shit? That's Satanism. A meshed relationship with people that falsely assessed me, brutalized me, falsely accused me, committed the only one unforgivable sin. Committed the only one sin that's unforgivable. Maintain files. Modulated we brain. Obstructed privacy. Forced remote viewer testing. Put a similar connection to we brain after they stole the original connection. And then Downey's wanted to trick me. When we think that's all the same concept, you don't need the connection that was inside you, places and spaces prior to birth. We wanted to give that to somebody else. We're behaving such as that. Will we ever allow that? Will we ever allow Adrian? And what Downey did, refer to their Satanism as, that's something, that's like something really big. Question mark, absolutely no. There's something really big. Are satanic people that'll disobey Jesus Christ, slaughtered me and me sons, explored we Sacred Heart, stole answers, stole writings, falsely translated, falsely assessed, allowed false diagnosis, stole sexual abuse pain, wanted other people to use that, allowed satanic false husbands, manipulated, modulated, killed me actual brain, put a false sense of self via virtual reality and synchronized doings, all Satanism. Allowed police inside my universe while police are married to Freemasons. Maintain files of forced extraction and a connection to me psychic brain. Forcibly extracted to put kickbacks to me sons that they've put into separate simulations. During this moment, wanted to put we into a simulation together. That's the wrong place. That are different than the stuff from where we were born. Made copies of from within me birth simulation. Put that into a new simulation. Wanted me to start a new life. Are me and me sons via we faith allowed to allow any of that in any of those people? Question mark, no. Downies are Satanists. Each doing they did are in disobedience to God's commands and wanted makes me to force, wanted to force makes me to disobey God and allow a meshed existence. Would Abba allow Clark Police and what Downies did? Question mark, no. Would Abba allow what Megan Downey Gonzalez did and would Abba allow we to have a relationship with Gonzalez? No, it's the wrong false people with. With the Downies that obstructed and infringed? Nope, that's the wrong false people with. You want people's Sacred Heart. Once you look into the Ark of the Covenant, you die. You're dead. You're evil. You're completely evil. Anyone, any person, cop, officer, police, detective, sheriff, government, and state of the WORLD word don't say, Satan and devils, that included their piece of shit existence, their brain map, their inclusion, allowed modulations, forced satanic doers, doings, antichrist, including what mere mortals refer to as the new WORLD word don't say list order. Put that shit into me birthright universe and simulation. Forced a similar simulation state to me brain. Forced changes. Allowed a hacker that falsified an obituary. Pretended that they arrested that person despite false obituary. Any Downies that allowed those doings. Forced extraction put to graphics. Question mark, no. What does we faith require? pluck out that wrong, the false, evil eye, toss that eye into the fire, hell to suffer forever and ever. Anyone that looked to be Sacred Heart, did technical advancements, did what they did today, referred to as more harassment, allowed police to use portions of my universe and brain and abilities, included police, false family, forced to mix for me what Abba commands makes you to lose and turn away from. Shredded me and then wanted to rebuild me into a different place. While Satanists, police state, want to include their family into me birthright universe. Despite Jimmy said, while demonically enslaved, it's not that I'm not at all in there, it's that I'm not at all in. Rather than deleting the people that were at all in, they moved me to me. Because the people that were at all in wanted to stay as all in and use me gifts and abilities. Then they wanted to include their piece of shit families. That all comes up from hell. Well, then they wanted to pull me into a different universe. False privacy. Would me ever allow Downey touch me life? Would me ever agree with what Downey's did? Testins, Majewskis. No, are we allowed to agree? Question mark, no. We faith requires we to sever the Downeys that did this. The Majewskis. The Testins. Police. All the people up from the forced communication. Especially Megan Downey Gonzalez. Kelly Bogda. Tara. Michael Majewski resided on Mass Jersey. Those people's bedmates. Evil, evil, evil people. Freemasons. The wrong and false evil husbands. The wrong and false evil sisters. Don't talk to me